In meeting this Sunday, we had biblical ministry, and perhaps that's unusual in many Quaker meetings around Britain today. And I was quite pleased because it was a day where I took in a basket of the readings that I've mentioned that I use in the prison chaplaincy group. And one of the biblical readings was about do not fret. And my whole meditation after that was how fretful we have become as a nation and perhaps as Quakers. And it got me thinking about have Quakers always been this fretful? And obviously, it begs the question, as perhaps we've moved away from Christianity and away from the Bible, have we become less able to rest in God's presence and rely on God's truth? And therefore, we worry more and are more fretful. And I've been very pleased and encouraged to see, or perhaps notice more, that centrally now Quakers are producing materials to help activist Quakers to think about the spiritual underpinning of what they do, which I think is great. And I saw one just this week from Woodbrook, and I very much hope that Ben Wood in particular, who I have great respect for, is going to lead that kind of reflection, helping activist friends to see where that's coming from and to ensure that it's coming from a deep place. And I remembered that in my interview with him, there's a really interesting part of our conversation, if you look back, about perhaps where some people are very, very confident of certain opinions that they have, but are less confident about talking about the spiritual basis of that. Now, for me, this is not just about book knowledge and what I've read and what I've, can theoretically or philosophically add. I think this is about knowing these things experimentally in George Fox language or experientially. And the most powerful is where you can talk about some kind of spiritual awakening that really transformed your opinions, transformed your life, transformed the way you read the Bible, transformed your relationships. And I really liked that part of the Backhouse lecture where Tim G really speaks about that experience. And if you've been through it, then you know. If you know, you know. So I really hope that we see more of that. I'm really pleased. I would love to see much more deep reflection, study, perhaps, meditation, retreats for activists to really consider where these leadings are coming from, how they have been transformed. Because if it's resulting in fretfulness, I'm not sure. I'm not so convinced. So yeah, I'm left with a question. Have Quakers always been this fretful? I suspect not. So I hope we will go back to really considering what the spiritual roots are, perhaps Christian roots are, for our leadings.